Well, hi there, donkey class folks. All right, so we are going to work on this card. It's going to be your quadrangle card. Okay, so you need one of your large Memories and More card bases, which you have the whole package of. Okay, you're going to need a scrap, and I gave you a whole half sheet of scrap for white. All right, this just happens to be a scrap laying on my desk. We're going to do our little fun donkey guy. All right, you're going to need your little daffodil circle. He's not going to fit on the whole thing, and don't worry, it's going to be fine. You've got two black strips, and you're going to need 2 squares of designer series paper that are 4 inches square. Now you are going to have some little bits left over, so you know. All right, so let's just neatly, once you've got that adhered, so you're going to cut your square, you're going to match up one corner down here at the fold and just tip it till you like the angle, all right, and adhere it. So you're only going to put adhesive on the part that's sticky, that's sticking here, okay? So this doesn't have any adhesive. We're just going to trim that off. And you can line that up in your trimmer, or you can just use your snips and go right along there, whichever you prefer. Okay. These bases are thick enough that I can run my scissors edge right along there and get a real nice straight cut. All right. So that's that part. Okay. Now we're going to take the Memento ink and I'm going to stamp my donkey. Now, if you don't happen to have Memento ink, any of our dye base colors will work. So if you want to stamp them in gray granite or something like that, you can. I'm going to stamp them way down here in the corner because I'm going to cut him out anyway. All right. Okay, put him over there. Now let's do a little coloring. So what I like, so in your part of your class, you got the light gray granite and dark gray granite blends. Okay, I'm going to take my light with what they call the big end. I call it the brush end. Okay, and I'm going to just lightly color the whole donkey. Okay, I'm going to start in his nose, trying not to overlap too much. Okay. Just lightly color all of him in, except for a little bit on his belly. Okay, I like to leave one light spot on his belly, kind of right in the middle, like that. Okay, because we're going to add some shading, and then this allows us to come over and do our blending, and then when we give that its first coat, it stays nice and light. Okay, so I'm going to color his legs and his tail. Now I could do his hooves, but I'm going to just grab the dark, and you'll see we're going to use this dark for his little mane is going to be dark. Okay, so I've added some dark there, added some dark here. Okay, I'm going to add just a teeny bit of dark right along the edge of his muzzle, and I'm going to go in 2 times and maybe go back a third for those hooves so they're nice and dark. Okay, so that's like 2 coats, and I think I'm going to go back. The nice thing about these blends is the more times you go back and add, you actually are adding more pigment to them. You're going to want to be working on a background, you know, a scrap paper or something, so that you're not harming any surface, because if you add enough color, you are going to get bleed through on the back. Okay, and that's a good thing. right? Okay, and the end of his tail. And a tiny bit along that part of his ear. Oh, and Stampin' Up! Gave us this as well. So we'll do a little bit there and a little bit along his belly. Okay, and I'm going to take they call it the thin end, I call it I use it as the blending nub. And I'm just going to go right along the edges of where we made those dark lines. Okay, we're just going to bring that out. Okay. And then I think I'm going to want to switch over to the big brush. And then I'm just going to double check that this is the light. And I'm just going to go around here a little bit. Okay, and then really lightly go right over his tummy like that. And then you can see we've got some blending happening here. Okay. We've got that light spot on his tummy. And the colors, as the alcohol evaporates, you'll see that they'll blend in really nice. All right, so I'm going to get a little close before I start. Because that will just end up in my way. All right. You can come in. I suggest leaving a teeny weeny bit of white, so not cutting right on the line, but just next to the line, and seeing a little white is fine. Just notice, if you're not somebody that loves to fussy cut, you could put him on something and punch him out if you want, and you're going to change the look of the card a little bit, and that's okay. All right. But notice that the hand holding my scissors is barely moving at all. Okay, I'm going to skip that little inside it for just a moment, and I'll come back and get that in a second. Okay, I'm going to just cut that scrap off. Then I'm going to come in from this side and just get that little bit in there. Okay. Now, if you don't want to get that close, you certainly don't have to. I'm rather particular when I fussy cut. Can you imagine? But this hand, my left hand that's holding the paper, is actually doing almost all of the work. Okay. I'm just gradually closing the scissors down, and when I get too far down or when I need to really change direction, I snip off the scrap and just change direction a little bit. Okay, and then start again pretty far into the V of the scissors and just closing them down a little at a time until I get where I need to be. Okay. Now to get into that tail, I'm going to have to really change direction. So I'm going to get pretty close and get some of the rest of this out of the way. Okay, and then I'll go back in and get by that tail. All right, so I can come up this side of the leg, come up the inside of his tail. I can get this part. And if it feels like it's too scrunchy in there, don't worry about it. Just leave it. Or come way back. The great part about these snips is they are sharp all the way to the very tip. So you don't need to be working way far in. Okay. You can just do some nice, smooth little snips think I've just about got it. There we go. So the tips are really, really sharp unless you've used them for something horrible. Okay. So again, I'm going to skip going in by those feet for just a second. I'm going to finish out over here. All right, we're getting close to done. Sorry that you're having to watch all of this. If I was really great at editing videos or something, I would be able to speed it up or something, but I'm not really sure I know how to do that. No. Fact is, I know I don't know how to do that, and I haven't learned how yet. All right. So, just gonna finish trimming around his little leg and up around his belly, and just give that a little snip. Oh, it needs another little snip right there. Okay. So almost done for our little donkey, and then we'll put that card together. Okay. Remember, you can do both. Since they're your bases, if you want to do two of one thing, or you can use those parts that you have for some other card, and that's totally fine too. You know, use those little pieces that I gave you to make something else if you want. Okay. So we're just about back to his nose where we started. Okay. I'm going to go back and fix that. That's too pointy. Right here on the bottom of his lip. You probably can't even see it, but I know it's too pointy. Okay. So what you're going to do is you're going to add your black strip. And if you want that corner to show, you can come over here with that. And then your little donkey. He's not going to fit all the way on. He's going to be close, and if you want him that way, that's fine. Or you can have him off a little bit. Okay, he can come this way a little bit. You decide how you want him. You know, you may want him a little like that. It's completely up to you. All right. Then, all right, let me get that glued down here. I think I'm pretty happy with that placement, so I'm going to go ahead and glue it down. So we'll go ahead and put one edge right up against the fold. I think we'll put the circle up on dimensionals. That'll look nice, I think, which means we'll need a few of the smaller dimensionals or something for our donkey if he's hanging over the edge. Okay, so let's get this on here. And I'm okay with not seeing the top of that. That's fine with me. And I think I want him out here like this. So I'm going to put a couple of small dimensionals. I think that's what these are. Out here on his nose. And one up by his ears. Like this. Okay. Now, even cutting these in half, it's going to be really hard to support those legs, and that's just okay. Okay. So we'll put a little regular adhesive on the back side of him here. Ooh, I was a little stuck down here so that he sticks to our yellow circle. Okay. in there. Okay. So he's having a pretty fun time. Now the other thing you got in your packet were I thought I brought them. Oh, here they are. I did bring them. They just had something else on top of them. You got these great sequins with lots of fun colors. Now you can choose to like complement your colors. You can go a little bit different. I think these ones on the front are a little more yellowy. Boy, are they in there. All right, here, let's see if that will. There we go. So you have some that are sort of a rich raspberry color. Okay, you have the Coastal Cabana. These would look really nice. These are probably a little bit more mango than daffodil, but that's okay. And then your sort of pinkish melon mambo kind of thing. So they're all in that brights family. So I think what we're gonna do is put a nice big blue one up here. And I think we'll put a yellow one down here, like that. And I think we'll do this pinky color. Whoops, I went to pull that and I pulled the glue dot right off the back. That one over there. Now, if you want to add more, you can. I do suggest 3s because or odd numbers. They tend to make our brains happier for some reason. Okay. And you can use a scrap and then trim it to put your greeting here if you want, or you can stamp it right on the card base. I think I'm going to be a chicken. And I am going to, I'm just not going to be that brave. If you want to be brave, go right ahead. If you're going to be that brave, you might want to, before you finish everything, stamp, if that's what you're going to do. Okay, I'm going to grab the It's Your Birthday. Oh, and another thing that I didn't tell you you could do, but you certainly could, if you want to give this yellow some texture, you could grab these little stars, these little sparkles, and stamp in Daffodil Delight on the daffodil circle. And that would give a little tone on tone. It won't be, you won't see a lot, but you'll see something, which will be nice. Okay, so we can just, It's Your Birthday. Because that little donkey sure looks like he's celebrating something, doesn't he? All right. Now, I should have gotten that out before. Let me just see if I can quickly find my classic label, which is a long, skinny kind of a punch. Drawer. One more chart here. Oh, here it is. Okay, that was quick and easy. Sorry about that. Should have had it. All right. There we go. Now, I could use a little piece of a sticky note here and make this kind of a neat, so have it pointing out. Here, hold on. In case I don't like it, I'm going to give myself a little room. So I can make it like a flag, like an arrow, or I could go in from the other way and get the the matching end. Kind of like it like this. So I think we'll put a couple of those baby dimensionals that are right here. I know they're really mini dimensionals, but I like calling them baby dimensionals. Okay, there. Like that. Okay, so I hope that was fun. I hope you like that quadrangle card, and we'll see you again for some more fun projects soon. Thanks, guys.